Live slow, live it up, watching time go. Planning moves, staying solid to this cheat code. Get your money, make it big, fuck being broke. Get your money, make it big, fuck being broke. Live slow, live it up, watching time go. Making moves, staying solid to this cheat code. Get your money, make it big, fuck being broke. Get your money, make it big, fuck being broke. This how it is, the mission's Benjamins. And fuck the drama and the bullshit, we ain't little kids. My circle small, but my riders heart, they never quit. Get your money, keep it gangsta, solid, straight legit. Never switch like the real ones that die for this. It's fucked up, but this is truly how it is. I hope you're ready if you're picking this like full of sin. No turning back, I represent my vital to the end. Fuck the fakes and the snakes and everyone that hates. I'm not phased, I won't break, bitch, I'll never.
You are now watching M.O.D. Entertainment.
What's good, G Life? Now, as we continue the list of city barrios, we will be actually starting off right here in the danger zone, the east of Los Angeles. East Los Angeles, already home to a dozen neighborhoods, treacherous. Some of the barrios, well known and old school. This area, has, deep roots and history to it. People are very familiar, with the whole East LA area and the gangbanging and gangs like Wyfen's, Primera Flats, and etc. They definitely be going down in this area. You know what I mean? That's for sure. Ain't no joke. And this is home to one of these city neighborhoods that we have in this area. Not talked about so much as like some of these other hoods around this area, but a real neighborhood that holds it down. I got homies out of this barrio, you know what I mean? Solid as individuals from, this gang. It's the Varrio CXT or CT, you know what I mean? R, CTR or CXTR, either way, you know what I mean? It's the Varrio City Terrace, Rifa. Varrio City Terrace, Rifa is a neighborhood that's located right here in the area of City Terrace. You know what I mean? Right in the danger zone, you know what I mean? Where you have, all kinds of gangs like Gary D. Lomas and Metro and all kinds of shit, you know what I mean? The Lot and all kinds of, close to Maravillas, and it'd be getting crazy. And their barrio, because they're an old school barrio, this barrio already has deep roots in this area, you know what I mean? The City Terrace neighborhood's already an old school barrio, that's been right here doing it, you know what I mean? Right off of the 10. And their neighborhood is everything that's from Perry Street to Roger Street, all the way to Hazard Avenue all the way to Rambos Drive, and from that their territory still extends all throughout Eastern, all throughout Sheriff Road, throughout Ramona Boulevard. Everything that's in the middle is considered their barrio. You know what I mean? Throughout City Terrace and Eastern. You need to know this area pretty well. If not, you're gonna get lost, homie, because there's all kinds of turns and loops and all kinds of shit and cul-de-sacs. If you don't know the area, you're gonna get lost and you're gonna end up turning into the wrong street where there's only one way in, no way out. It be getting treacherous in this area, you know what I mean? That's what gives, City Terrace, the advantage that they know their territory, because if you're not familiar, you're gonna get lost, and you already know how that goes. And some of these, hitters you probably guys recognize, because scenes of the movie Blood In, Blood Out were filmed in their barrio, you know what I mean? The movie Blood In, Blood Out, a lot of scenes were filmed in the City Terrace neighborhood, you know what I mean? You can even see their hit-ups in the background if you pay attention to the movie, so scenes of that movie were filmed in these guys' neighborhood. You know what I mean? It's already an old barrio that's been right here and continue to still represent for theirs. You guys ain't no suckers. They do have they do have a rapper out of the City Terrace neighborhood. His name is Fatal Fat. He has an album that you can go check out on iTunes, Spotify, and right here even on YouTube. Fatal Fats. It's called the East LA Prodigy Volume 1. It's a good album. I had the opportunity to scope out a few songs. Very talented individual. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys are looking for some new Chicano rap, you guys could go scope that out. You know what I mean? Homie has some, skills. You know what I mean? So go peep out that album. And that's what's up with the City Terrace gang right here. Now, as we make our way over here to the area that is known as the Desert Empire. Yes, the Desert Empire, being the area of like what's Coachella, Indio, and all of that side of town. it is home to several neighborhoods. You know, just within this small area over here in the desert, you have more than like 30 neighborhoods. You know what I mean? So it gets chaotic over here too. You know what I mean? It gets treacherous. The desert ain't no joke, bro. I mean, you fuck around, you might disappear in that desert, bro. It'd be that serious. You know, it definitely be cracking over here. And this is home to one of these, you know, city barrios, which is known as the Varrio BCC. BCC translating to Barrio Cathedral City. Yes, Cathedral does have neighborhoods in it. Cathedral City is one of the more larger neighborhoods, you know, within this area. Has already been well established here since the, you know, late 80s when this neighborhood was established. Now, the Varrio Cathedral City, its neighborhood is a little bit more on the outskirts of, you know, Cathedral City. It's located by where the Palm Valley School is at. So everything around the Palm Valley School is where this Varrio is located at. So that's everything that's from Data Palm Drive, all the way to Dana Shore Drive, and all the way to Delval Drive, all the way to General Ford Drive. So everything that's in the middle is what's considered their barrio, you know, throughout Plumley Road, which slices through their barrio, you know, throughout Converse Road, throughout, you know, Plumley, throughout Victoria Drive, Rebecca Way, all of that is what's considered the Cathedral City Barrio, you know what I mean? All those outskirts, like I said, don't ever judge a book by its cover. It be getting treacherous over here, homie, you know what I mean? You could disappear anywhere in this area, you know, on 35th and Avenue and all of that, bro. It be treacherous. And this neighborhood, you know, close to the high school as well, Cathedral City High School is where this barrio was located at, you know what I mean? Throughout those back ends. Like I said, it'd be going down right here. And I was at least told that this neighborhood is roughly, at least from what I was told, it's like roughly about 75 to 80 members. And that is large when we're talking about this area, you know. For the Desert Empire, bro, that's a big amount, you know what I mean? Like I said, because, you know, the area being how it is, you know, to still get, you know, produce that many homies is insane. You know, smaller, you know, it's a smaller neighborhood compared to anywhere else, but for the area, you know, it's a large gang. But yeah, the Varrio Cathedral's, you know, real neighborhood right here, putting it down for that Cat City, the BCC right here. Another barrio that's a city neighborhood, but for this one, we actually have to be traveling to the area that is known as Orange County. You already know Orange County. You thought I was finished with Orange County, huh? Oh, no, we ain't done with Orange County yet. You know what I mean? Like when I said that Orange County is home to several city neighborhoods, I mean it's home to several city neighborhoods. You know what I mean? And while we have already covered the other ones in the other video, here's another one that's located within the area that is known as Midway City. Midway City is home to the barrio Midway City. You know what I mean? Not to be confused with Mid City. You know what I mean? Two separate neighborhoods. The barrio Midway City, MC. You know what I mean? You see the MCs. You know it, VMC. Sometimes you see it also, you know, MWC. You know, but it's rare. But it's mostly you see it of VMC. And they're roughly you know, pretty old school barrio that has already been well established right here. They have never been a large neighborhood. They always been, you know, a little bit more the smaller side, but a neighborhood that has always handled theirs. And their territory is throughout the area. You can find their territory, everything that's from Balusa Avenue all the way to Beach Boulevard. Their territory still extends all the way to Hazard Avenue, and from Hazard Avenue it goes all the way to Colonia Drive, Eden Street. All of that is what's considered their barrio, you know what I mean? Throughout Park Lane, throughout Newland, throughout Wilson, throughout Monroe, throughout Van Buren, throughout Jackson Street, Adam, Washington, Roosevelt. All of that is what's considered the barrio Midway City. You know what I mean? Well-established neighborhood. Like I said, never been a large neighborhood, but nonetheless, homie, real individuals that do real things. They be cracking in the OC right here, and also in the area of Mid-City. Like I said, don't ever get it twisted. I mean, Midway City. See, even I get it confused. You know, because they sound so much alike, you know, but they're two separate neighborhoods. And, you know, these vatos still be right here maintaining and continue to represent theirs and keep putting theirs on the map. Now, as we make our way down to the city of SD, San Diego, you already know San Diego being infamous for a lot of neighborhoods. And for this one, we actually have to be traveling to the area that is known as Oceanside, San Diego. Oceanside being home to a lot of neighborhoods as well, you know what I mean? They'd be going down in the Oceanside, you know. It definitely cracks on this side. And yes, this is home to, you know, another one of these city neighborhoods, which is located in the area that is known as Tri-City. Yes, Tri-City does have neighborhoods. This is home to the Varrio TCTH, which translates to Varrio Tri-City Thunder Hills. And I'm not even making this up, bro. This is a real thing. You know what I mean? A real neighborhood that's been well established here since the 80s, you know, that do their thing, continue to still do their thing. And this neighborhood is a little bit interesting because this neighborhood originally started as a half white, half Hispanic gang. So this was, you know, one of these mixed gangs, you know what I mean? It was divided equally, you know, with whites and Hispanics. You know what I'm saying? And it still continues to be that way. You know what I mean? You know, they still have, you know, good relationship, you know, and a lot of white members, you know, to their barrio. But they are homeboys. They do roll with us homeboys. You know what I mean? And the Tri-City Thunder Hills neighborhood is everything that's right here from Tabron Street and Thunder Drive. So that is the heart of their hood, their main domain, their dojo. That's where it goes down. You know what I mean? And like I said, this is a real neighborhood. You know, it's not a crew. It's not like all fake gang. No, these are a real hood that has real individuals that do real things, you know, for their sets. You know what I mean? The Barrio Tri-City Thunder Hills. So yes, Tri-City in this area, in these hills, they do have gangs and it does crack. You know what I mean? These guys ain't no joke, you know what I'm saying? They definitely be holding it down and continue to still represent theirs and keep putting theirs on the map. And for the next neighborhood, we actually have to be heading towards the area of San Diego. You already know Diego definitely be cracking and is definitely home to a lot of neighborhoods and several city neighborhoods. You get what I'm saying? Now, we actually have to be making our way to the area that is known as Palm City. Palm City right here in Diego. Palm City, you know, a little bit more of a smaller area. You know, often forgotten. Not that many people I ever hear mention Palm City. But it is a real location and full of real neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Like this neighborhood that we'll be covering right here, which is known as the Varrio PCL. It actually has different ways of being written depending on the clica that we're talking about. Because you have the Palm City Locos, which is the PCLs. Then you have the Palm City, Palm Avenue, you know, the PAs. And then you have the Palm City FH, which was a tag banging crew that transitioned into a neighborhood. So it was a tag banging crew that was roughly around in the, you know, late 90s, early 2000s, that transitioned into, to becoming a neighborhood. And like I said, it stood for From Hell. It stood for Family Hispanic. It stood for several things, you know what I mean? But, you know, From Hell is probably the most recognizable one that people recognize it for. And yes, they did become a neighborhood and associated with the Palm City gang. You know what I mean? But obviously Palm City being the original title, the, you know, old barrio, you know, already right here, you know, and it had, you know, with homies getting busted and everything like that, it had dimmed down, you know, for quite some time until, you know, it made a comeback, you know, with these tag banging crews, you know, getting in, just like, you know, just like several other neighborhoods, you know, that this occurred to. No different with Palm City, but it is a real neighborhood and continue to still have real writers that represent and put it down for theirs. This is the barrio in which the rapper Little Grifo, this is the barrio in which he puts it down for. And yeah, this is a real neighborhood that keeps doing their thing and representing out of that SD for that Palm City right there.
Thank you for watching M.O.D Entertainment. Make sure you like and subscribe.